Welcome to Monday Musings with the Blended Mama, gentle encouragement for busy women finding calm in the chaos. I'm Teresa, and this is a quiet place to pause at the start of your week. No pressure, no productivity lecture, just a few minutes of perspective and one small step you can carry into the days ahead. I'm really glad you're here with me today. Now, today I want to talk about something that may feel uncomfortable, maybe not. It really just probably depends on you, but I think it also can be freeing once we name this and once we kind of give it some words and really think about it. And that is that not everyone is meant to be your person. And what I've been realizing about friendship lately is definitely how much I need it in the season I'm in, but also how much I have to be willing to put myself out there, to meet people, to reach out, to share deeper with those who are already in my friend group. And if I'm being honest, especially that last part, it doesn't always feel easy, right? I think one of the hardest things in the season I'm in is not just finding people, but figuring out who is safe, who's ready for that deeper level of connection, because it goes both ways, right? If I can't go deep with somebody who isn't willing to do the same, right? So if they're still wanting this kind of friendship, but I'm really wanting a different one, I can't go deeper than they're willing to. And that's just to keep it safe and keep everybody kind of on the same playing field, I guess. And I think this may be where things can feel a little bit confusing because we might have a lot of people in our lives. I definitely have a lot of people in my life, but not all of them are meant to hold the same space, and that's okay, right? So I've been seeing this play out in my own life recently. We've had some heavier things going on. And I found myself having to be really intentional about reaching out to some people and asking for prayer. And I had to reach out beyond just my inner circle, but to the friend group as a whole. And that was really kind of telling for me. And it wasn't because of the number of people that I reached out to, but some of the who's of who I reached out to, right? It reminded me I do have an inner circle, but I also have friends who are more than just acquaintances. And it's okay for me to be willing to open up a little bit and maybe let a few more people into that inner circle space over time. So something this kind of reminded me of, again, kind of with that whole topic, is that not everyone is meant to be your person. It's okay for us to have like different levels of friends. I mean, it's not reasonable for us to think that we're going to be like best buddies with every person that crosses our lives, and it's not a negative thing, right? But I think sometimes we need to acknowledge not everybody is my person, and that's okay, right? It's kind of freeing because it means you don't have to expect the same level of connection from everyone. You don't have to force depth where it doesn't naturally exist. And you don't have to feel like something is wrong if every relationship doesn't feel close. I think sometimes we blur the lines of friendship, especially in a world where we use the word friend for almost everybody, right? But the reality is there are different levels of connection. There's people we know, there's people that we enjoy hanging out with it, there's people we see occasionally, maybe you know their name. If you're like me, you're like, I know your face, but I'm not sure I remember your name. There are the ones that we trust, the ones we can be honest with, the ones we can bring the hard things to. And that circle is small on purpose, right? And for me, it's been important for me to remember that God places people in our lives for different reasons. And some people are there for a season. Some people are there for a specific moment. Some are there to help you grow. And some people become part of that inner circle and they stay there. So instead of trying to make every relationship fit into that inner circle category, we can start to notice what each one actually is and embrace them for where they are and not expect them to be more or less than what they are. Because when we try to make every friendship deeper than it's meant to be, we end up feeling disappointed or confused or maybe even hurt. And it's possible for us to hurt others as well. But when we allow relationships to just be what they are, there's a lot more peace. It's just going to feel a little more natural and hopefully a little more comfortable. So if you have your planner handy, or if you're like me, you're using a dot grid journal, I do have an exercise for you for this week. So I want you to start by drawing 3 simple circles. So you're going to draw a big one, a medium size, and then a little one on the inside. Okay. So in your outer circle, you're going to write down the names of people you know, people you interact with. Maybe you see them occasionally, right? That's what is going to go in that outer circle. And in the middle circle, you're going to put the names of people that you enjoy and connect with regularly. And then on the inner circle are your safe people. These are the ones that you trust with the deeper parts of your life. Just start placing names. You're not judging anything here. You're not putting any pressure on yourself to change anything. You're just noticing where people are, or where you feel like people are. It's not labeling people, and it's not elevating or pushing down one friendship because they're in one ring versus the other. It's really just information for you to kind of help you see where your different friend zones are, and bring some clarity to your relationships. So as you kind of move through your week, you might want to sit with some of these thoughts as well. So who do I feel safe being fully honest with? Am I expecting the same level of connection from everyone? And where might I need to adjust my expectations? Because I know there are definitely places that I do. So if this maybe feels a little uncomfortable, that's okay. There is some vulnerability in recognizing that not every relationship is meant to go deep. There's also freedom in that, because it allows you to protect your energy, to nurture and invest in the right relationships, and to create space for the kind of connection you're actually longing for. And maybe this week it's not about finding more people. Maybe it is about seeing the people you already have more clearly. So take a few minutes to map out your circles. Notice who is in your inner circle right now. And, really think about how can you nurture that friendship to keep it healthy in that inner circle. Now, if this episode resonated with you, I would love for you to follow the show so you don't miss what's coming next. If you'd like some extra encouragement during the week, you can join my email list. I share reflections like this, along with planning tips and updates on what we're doing in our free online community. You can find a link to everything that I offer, from planning to emails to my free community to book club, all the things. There's a link to that in my show notes. Until next time, friend, keep planning with purpose, coordinate that chaos, and I will see you right back here next Monday.